Need a bit of light on the situation. Alors, il me faut un tout petit peu de lumière. Il va falloir essuyer quelque chose parce que ça, c'est dégueulasse. Un instant. Pas beaucoup. Okay. Alors, on va y arriver petit à petit. On s'en sort. We're getting out of it. I just need a bit of a chip. Alors, il me faut quelques frites. Excuse-moi for speaking with the mouth full. Alors, excuse-moi de parler avec la bouche pleine. Good. So, if you're watching on YouTube and you're not one of my normal people, fuck them. They get more than enough time. Come along. The number is here. Titre de votre page. Come and say hello. Even if you've never done it before, même si vous ne l'avez jamais fait avant, you are welcome. Alors, vous êtes les bienvenus. Because at the moment, I'm just with the same boring fuckers who I really don't like. Parce qu'en ce moment, je suis avec les mêmes connards, franchement, avec qui je m'entends pas trop bien. So it would be nice to have something fresh. Alors, un tout petit peu de fraîcheur, ça me ferait du bien. Hopefully. Just sort one other thing out before we get going. La 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 la. Right. A second. Good. 1 second. Yeah, just checking that works. Good, that's all good. Excellent. Right. Let's start. Gabby, let's start with you. Are you there, my love?
Yes.
Right, so to remind everybody else, can you turn your mics off? Alors, pour vous rappeler, alors si vous pourriez éteindre les micros, because unlike the YouTube class, unlike the WhatsApp class, we can't all speak at the same time. On peut pas tous se parler en même temps. So one at a time. So if you could turn off the microphone if your name isn't Gabby. You can pretend to be Gabby on weekends, John, but we need everybody apart from Maggie, Gabby to turn off the microphone. Donc, par Gabby, alors merci d'éteindre les micros. So, Gabby, off you go. Luke sent me them earlier. So, Luke sent me them earlier, referring to some photographs. Luke sent me them earlier. In an oral speech, not in a book. Oral speech. Luke sent me them earlier. I can't hear you. No, now I can. That's better.
I'm moving closer. Luke, sorry, you're upside down now.
That's fine.
Luke m'envoyait plus tard. That's not right, is it?
I'm not even going to give that time. I'm going to move on to Susan until you work out just how awful that was for a woman of your learning and education. Pronouns don't go in two different places in the same bloody sentence. Susan, how are you doing? Good. Don't disappoint me, Susan. Off you go. I worn a colour that Luke likes because it reminds him of one of the plants he's just planted in Al's garden. So I've worn a colour that Luke likes because it reminds him of one of the plants he's just planted in Al's garden.
J'avais porté une couleur.
I've worn.
J'ai porté.
Wait, don't ask me in a questioning tone of voice something that is completely logical. Why in a million years would it be j'avais porté? I had worn. What tense is j'avais porté? Susan, what's the name of it?
That's the imperfect.
That's it. No.
Plus perfect.
Good. And what does that translate as in English?
I had worn.
Right. And is that what Uncle Lukey gave you? No. There we go. So I've worn.
J'ai porté une couleur qui est plus
Pleasant, good idea, very good idea. Wrong verb, tense. Qui plaît à Luc. So, what has Susan, hey Harry, what has Susan done well? She's remembered that plaire is done by the thing. So I like the thing, the color pleases me. Susan's remembered that. She's remembered that plu is an absolutely acceptable past tense of the verb plaire, which would mean it would need to come after an auxiliary. We ain't had an auxiliary. We're in the present tense. So what is the present tense of the verb plaire? Good. Everybody's freaked out by this. How do you say please? How do you say please?
S'il vous plaît.
Ah, what's the verb in that?
Plaire.
And what's the verb that we're hearing in that word?
Plaire.
What's the word we're actually literally hearing in the bloody word s'il te plaît and s'il vous plaît?
What's the word play?
What are we literally hearing? What's the word we're hearing? Do we say s'il vous plaît or s'il te plaît? What's the word we're hearing?
Play.
You said plaire the first time. Don't get arsy with me or I'll be out, you'll be cast out, you'll be like the archangels, you'll be right down in the lower level of hell with demons and creatures unable to conjugate tenses. You'll be like, please, Luke, take me back. I'm sorry I gave you back chat. I'm sorry, Susan. No, you said plaire the first time. So, lovely. So go again for me then. So say for me, Luke, I'm wearing a colour that Luke likes. Play is fine.
I'm wearing or I?
I've changed it.
Okay. Je porte une couleur qui plaît à Luc.
Good. Right, bit of muscle memory plus a bit of something new, because otherwise the brain just, yeah, it's not good to always do stuff that you desperately know what's coming, because at speed you need to go, oh, which way am I going? Good, lovely. So key play, good, lovely, because it reminds him.
Parce qu'il te
souvient. What's the verb to remember while we're there?
Souvenir de.
Reflexive.
Se souvenir de.
Good. I can understand why for a primary school child, remind and remember might be confusing. But for someone who's intelligent to the levels of Susan, can we distinguish between remember and remind? So it reminds him. What's the verb to remind somebody?
Rappeler.
Spot on. If you were going to do it because he remembers, how would you say he remembers, Susan?
Se souvient.
Well done, Susan, because that would be a reflexive verb and there wouldn't be any bloody rather than sir. But, you know, I'm only the bilingual speaker. You know, who am I to know what you said? So off you go. So I remember, I remind. Same verb in the case you were saying je me rappelle. Same verb there, but not for what you guys are doing. Most people I teach, I want to use je me souviens de, or I want rappeler, whatever. So how can you say for me, I'm going to ring my mom back? Change the sentence temporarily. How would you say I'm going to ring my mom back?
Je vais rappeler à ma mère.
Wrong, fail. You've only had it before. Why would I expect you to remember it? You've only had it before. Why would I expect you to listen to the class back and make notes like an adult? Why would I expect that? I'll say it again then. Rappeler, remind. Rappeler, direct. Call back, call. Do you say I call Luke? Do you say j'appelle Luke or j'appelle à Luke? Which one do you use if you call Luke?
J'appelle Luc.
Well bloody done. So therefore, how would you say I call Luke back?
Je rappelle Luc.
Nice job. How would you say I call him back?
Je le rappelle.
Good job. How would you say I remind him that he owes me whatever $15 on a bet or something? How would you say I remind him?
Je lui rappelle.
That's lovely. Good. Off you go. So this plant or this color reminds him. Alors ça lui rappelle. Lovely. So are we all completely fucking clear? Rappeler is to remind as well as to call back. And if you use it, you use it indirectly with someone. Okay, Gabby says, Luke's going to remind me. Luke va me rappeler. Fine. That's not going to give you any difficulty, is it? Because me and rappeler, in that context, will give you, will sound the same as je me rappelle. Side note, a load of French people, we make this mistake all the time. I remember when Susan and I went for coffee, whatever, you know, je me souviens de, or je me rappelle, straight into it. We don't say je me rappelle de, but a lot of people do. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. I believe if you go on word reference, the example that they've got is, I remember my childhood. So Susan, could you do the two on word reference? So how would you say, if my childhood is mon enfance, could you say, I remember using se rappeler, no de, and can you use, I remember using se souvenir de, obviously with the de. So could you say, I remember my childhood? Lovely. No de, fight the urge. Fight the my childhood using the se souvenir de. Off you go.
Je me souviens de mon enfance.
Nice. So aujourd'hui, j'ai porté une couleur qui plaît à Luc parce que tu vois, ça lui rappelle, because that reminds him, whatever, you know, la plante, qui l'a planté, whatever. Good, Susan, next sentence. Okay. Although with plants, Lucas decided to eat some. Although we're talking about plants, Lucas decided to eat some. No, you do this every week. That's why I'm doing it for you. Bianca plus person plus subjunctive. Bianca. Like Bianca. Think of some bitch called Bianca. All right? So basically, yeah. So lovely. So in other words, could you please say, who's typing in the chat box of the Zoom? Could you kind of not? We don't really need a transcription of what the stuff is. I'm with Susan. This is Susan's time. She's perfectly capable. She can watch the class back again. Yeah. Could you kind of not make transcription notes in the class? Pretty please. Because it's just distracting for Susan. All right. Good. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just watch it back, record it back. It'll be on YouTube. Yeah, all be there. All right. And also, you shouldn't be so visual. All right. Good. Susan, save me. Although Luke's English, his mom is French. Say something like that. Although Luke's English, his mom is French. Lovely. Now say, although we're talking about plants. No, why? Susan, don't what me, young lady, nice polite company, we say pardon. What did I just bloody do with you? Did we just do bloody Bianca? We just did Bianca. Where's Malgrave coming from? I've just been over it. You've just given me a delicious example. You gave me Bianca. Yeah. Turn off your microphone if your name isn't Susan, so I don't have to see you. I want to see Susan. No offense. Susan. Bianca. Although we're talking about plants, off you go. Pause. I missed that. Oh, bless. Look at that little argument for euthanasia just in front of us. That's lovely. Lovely. Susan, back to you, my love. Could you say, although we're talking about, let's use nous, Susan. Let's use nous. Although we're talking about plants. Off you go. Good, go again one more time. That was very good. Go again. Good. Bien que nous parlions. That's it. Susan, do me another one. Although he finished an hour ago. Good. Notice how you've gone from like a total 0 to complete 60. Not only are you saying the subjunctive, in the past. Okay. I just have to get rid of the kid. If this is your child and you're going to plan to come along to the French class, fine. I'm really sorry. Otherwise, I need to throw said child out. So, yeah. I'm really sorry. I think somebody could be basically waiting for their kid to come back. I don't need to throw them out. Yeah, euthanasia, as you say. Good. Right. Okay. Good. So Eats Gin has written, Bianca, no. So this is why I don't like people writing in the group, because I then have to go and correct it. No, Eats Gin. Bianca Luc Soit. All of you love writing. Do some listening. If you just listen to what we're talking about, Okay, then we possibly do this. Stop writing and listen. You have endless hours after the class to go over it. Endless hours. So I'll make my point again. Bianca takes subjunctive. If you listen to Susan, very cleverly, when she'd been given a kick up the ass to remember Bianca, she beautifully goes into the subjunctive past. If you don't know what the subjunctive past is, get your ass on my website, go to the YouTube, go to the homepage, type subjunctive past. So in other words, Bianca can go into the present or the past. Susan, give me another one. Although there is a problem, just say that for me. At speed. Good. Although Luke left an hour ago, you can still smell his perfume. Although Luke left an hour ago, you can still smell his perfume. On peut encore sentir. Notice, Susan, in the balance between encore and toujours, encore often gets used for negative and toujours often gets used for positive. There's no law there. Like use both, but on peut toujours sentir son parfum. Oh dear. Bye, John Simon. Bye. Remove. Good. Yes. Okay. Good. Lovely. Right. 2 more, Susan. In the meanwhile, when I come back to Gabby, she better bloody remember that some sentences have a me and a them in the same bloody box, and that pronouns are bits before verbs. Good. Lovely. One more for me, Susan. I'm going to give it them. Imagine we were talking about a pizza and I'm talking to the children. I'm going to give it them. Why must plural things only be given to plural? The average child is fat. They don't need a pizza each. I'm going to give it to them. One pizza, they can share it. I'm going to give it them. No, pizzas are feminine. I even told you. Pizzas are feminine. Go on. Nice rhythm. What I like with you very much, is when the grammar's appalling, it's appalling. When you remember grammar, you instantly say it like you've been saying it your whole life. I love that. I really do like that. It goes from to je vais la leur donner. Lovely. So in other words, could you now say, I gave it them? I gave it them. Orally, I gave it them. Still talking about the same pizza, still talking about the same fat kids. Off you go, I gave it them. Why will we never get over the bridge that people will need? Why won't we remember that the auxiliary verb for have with the je is what, Susan? What's the have verb for je? Off you go. Good job. Go again, but you did a little bit of a non-Susan thing. You kind of spell out the correction, which you've got out of doing very well. I've only just complimented you on it. All right? Okay, Harry, I'll be back for you later. All right? So Stephanie, je la leur ai donné. Je la leur ai donné. We don't need the a donné, okay? Good. If we were in a book, warning, this speak English. This involves revolve. This involves the passive sampler. If you've not done the passive sampler, you won't understand this. I dare say you might not have done the past subjunctive and not understood that, but this is a little bit, rare for this type of class. So Susan, what is the verb to give orally? What's the infinitive to give? Which of my passive sampler groups would it therefore go in? A group, E group, or U group? Good. Could you please say for me, he gave it them, referring to the same pizza and the same fat kids? In a book. You've just been watching the other video, which was on the passé intérieur. Can I remind you when you do that? If you're saying had, and you're after, and, not just had, and you're after one of those little shits. So a normal sentence in the passive sampler. Here we go, Susan. Here's the really crazy clue. What's that tense called? The passé sampler. And what does that mean about verbs? 1. Susan's finger has gone up. That's it. Off you go. People think I'm fucking mean, but when they get it, they fucking fly. Off you go. When you go. He gave it them in a book.
Il la leur donna.
Well done. Il la leur donna. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Susan might not be planning on writing a book. She might just be planning on reading some books. But the point is, if she then read a verb in a book, she'd know what it is. Good, Susan. Excellent. Let me go back to Gabby, who I hope has remembered that pronouns don't get split up. All right. Good. Thank you, Susan. Lovely. Over to Gabby. Good. I thought you might have shaved your head repentantly for the hideous error that you just made. But no, it's okay. You're still there. So say for me. Now look at me, look at me, look at me. I don't want to do this. Gabby sent the letter. Gabby sent it. Gabby sent it to him. We don't want to build that way every time. Not at your level now. Just remind me these simple facts. Where, if a verb is an action in the past, what orally, what does it have? You're not near the microphone.
All right. It's because I'm on my computer. An auxiliary.
Good. Don't move any further back. All right. Good. And where do pronouns go, Gabby, my love?
Bits before verbs.
Great. 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 Bits before verbs. Whether we've got one verb or two verbs. Whether that's a bloody passé simple, whether that's a bloody plus que parfait, futur simple, conditionnel, passé composé. We don't care. The only example that wouldn't do, that would be a bloody infinitive, and we've not got one now. All right. If we've got a bloody him, them, yabba, yabba, yabba at the crap at the same time, who gives a monkeys? So gives a monkeys. Who gives a monkeys? Who gives a monkeys? Off you go. So could you please say for me, I gave it him.
Je le lui ai donné.
And again, good job.
Give it. Je le lui ai donné.
That's nice, 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 nice. He showed them. He showed them.
Il est le...
Orally, il est leur
Il est le a donné.
amant show.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Il est le montré. À montrer. Il est le à montrer.
That's it. For people watching, these people aren't randoms. Susan and Gabby work with me one-to-one, which is really why I probably should kick them off the Sunday class and give people who don't come a bit of a go. But the point is, that's why, Neil, with your little bitchy comment, that's why they're getting their asses kicked, because they get an hour one-to-one every week where they've done this shit and 25 times harder. Do you understand? Neil, with your little bitchy comments. All right, then. That's all right. So, exactly. So, basically, lovely, lovely, lovely. So, can we now have, Gabby, keep going again. I'm going to give it him. Now there's an infinitive, Gabby. I'm going to give it him. We're going to talk about a pizza, a feminine pizza, and him. Okay, I'm going to give it him. Where do pronouns go, Gabby?
Bits before verbs.
Unless...
That's an infinitive.
Great, off you go. I'm going to give it him. Talking about a feminine pizza.
Je vais la louer. Donner.
Flawless, go again.
Je vais la louer. Donner.
And again.
Je vais la louer. Donner.
Brilliant. I will give it him. So you kind of have got to decide in this tense, is there an auxiliary? Yes or no? But to be honest with you, Gabby, my love, we don't even need to give a shit. We only decide once we've got je la lui out of the way. Because we could go, look, je la lui ai donné, je la lui avais donné, je la lui donnerai, je la lui aurais donné. Yeah, we just don't care. We just don't care. We get the la lui out of the way. Off you go. I had given it him. I had given it him. Don't even think about the verb until you've got the la lui out of the way. Go. I had given it him.
Lui avait... Oh no.
Yes.
Je le lui avais donné.
Good job. In a book, they, side note, you're not expected to know this. In a book, donne, Gabby, again, which group is it in? The A group, the E group, or the U group?
A.
So what would the ending be for they gave in a book? Passé simple. Il
donnait.
Ils donnèrent. Nice. So what would it be in a book? They gave it him. Same pronouns. Still talking about, and again, they gave it him. Gabby, bring your bloody head to the microphone, pretend it's your ex-husband, and basically swallow it. Swallow it, all right? I can't hear it. All right, off you go.
Okay, sorry. sorry. Il donne.
Gabby, go back to they gave. Il donne.
Donne.
Good. Where's the verb in il donner, Gabby?
Donne.
What's the verb you've just said, though?
What's the verb I've just said?
Yeah.
Il donne.
Great. So pop your pronouns before it. Off you go. They gave it him.
Il donne.
They gave... Gabby, my love, look at me, look at me, look at me. Babies in French know that there are more than one pronoun. Get over the basic fact that there are more than one pronoun. Honestly, my love, you can do this standing on your head. Get over the fact that there can be more than one pronoun. Go. Okay, bye, Sandy. Bye, Sandy. Okay, lovely. Yeah, Gabby, off you go. They gave it him.
I'm getting confused. Wait a minute. They gave it.
No. I don't do toddler, Gabby. I don't do toddler, Gabby. Back at me, give me they gave. Book tense. Il donne.
They gave. Il donne.
Good job. We've done the Gabby, you've got to get over this thing that there can only be a pronoun, one pronoun. There might be two. What's to him?
Not to him, fuck's. Yes. Il lui donne.
Brilliant. See what you're capable of? There will be pronouns. Let me explain this. Right. This is not a common problem. This is a very, 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 very common problem. All right. I mean, this is not an uncommon problem. When you talk about a sentence, the average sentence is Joe Bloggs does some shit to somebody else, or Joe Bloggs gives something to somebody else, or whatever. And that's basically like a sentence. So if I said, I give Gabby a rose, I could make either Gabby or the rose a shortcut. I give her a rose, or I give Gabby it. I give it Gabby. But if everybody involved in the situation knows, could somebody in my discussion group help that poor afflicted Irish girl that never seems to remember the Zoom code? Honest to God, teachers have no admin. Basically, if you've got, so Aideen, I want you to give Aideen the number. Okay, so je veux que tu donnes whatever, the code for the Zoom à Aideen, all right? I could say, I want you to give her the number, the code. Je veux que tu lui donnes le code. I could say, I want you to give her it. And you'd know in the conversation that the it was the code and the her was Aideen. Do you understand? So this is life. Life will often be two things reduced. Okay? Je veux le lui donner. Yeah, or je veux que tu le lui donnes. All right? So I want you all this week to deliberately come up with sentences where you have got a thing and a person in your sentence. So I speak French to Kim. I speak it to Kim. Je le parle à Kim. Sorry, the broccoli went down the wrong way. I speak it to her. Je le lui parle. Get used to this. Okay, get used to doing this. Good, Gabby, carry on. Same again, just double pronouns, right? This week, I can't hear you. Good. Move your chair forward because it's going to hurt your back. No, Brian, I don't have corona. I'm afraid I have a little touch of swallowing broccoli while trying to teach. Good. So Luke's going to do the same thing with me. Go. Luke's going to do the same thing with me.
Luc va faire la même chose avec moi.
Good. Aim to speak in a French accent from the very first time. Go again.
Luc va faire la même chose avec moi.
Good. I don't hear a hint of Gabby. I just want to hear Gabrielle. Okay, off you go. Good, lovely. Okay. Because normally, in this kind of sentence, there are two pronouns. Because normally in this kind of sentence, there are two pronouns. Can't hear you. Get forward.
Parce que normalement, en ce genre de phrase, il y a deux pronoms.
Good, lovely, I can hear you, okay? Because somebody is doing something with something to somebody. Sorry, I apologize, because somebody is doing something with something to somebody else.
Parce que quelqu'un fait quelque chose à quelle autre personne.
Good. I'm going to write to him, talking just basically about the him. I'm going to write to him. I'm going to write to him. I'm going to write to him. Just say, I'm going to... No, Gabby? Yep, I'm going to write to him. Okay, I'm going to write to him. In the sentence, I'm going to write to him, what form of the verb is to write?
Yeah, the infinitive.
Which is?
Yeah, écrire.
Good job, madam. Off you go. Only fluent French here for Gabby. No building up. Breathe in. I'm gonna write to him. Good. We're talking about a letter now. So my original sentence would be, you know, the letter. I'm gonna write a letter to Brian's doctor and say, do help the lad out. He's got such a tiny cock. It's absolutely minuscule. We need to do something. So I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write it to him. Okay. So we now need something that is basically going to. We're now going to have to include something for the letter and something for the doctor. Okay. I'll begin. Good job. Brian, by the way, joking apart, when we say, a penis, if you say une bite, is feminine, but you say c'est grand, G-R-A-N-D. Yeah, you can't say c'est grande. Okay. Have a mental note that beginners, those of you who are like not as experienced as others, the words that your mouth will like and the words that your spelling will like will tend to be the feminine spellings. Gabby, are you active or passive?
Active.
Good. And how do we spell that in English?
Active.
Yep.
A-C-T-I-V-E.
Good. Notice in French, that's the feminine spelling. What's the masculine of active, Gabby? Active.
Active with an F on the end.
Actif. Well done. Say it for me. Actif. Okay.
Active.
Yep. Okay. Good. Lovely. Good. Excellent. Let's go across to someone we've not had in a while before. Let's go across to Jed. Let's go across to
PCSO Jed Borden with the Metropolitan Police. Unfortunately, we could not contact you any other way. I'm here to ask you a few questions about the disappearance of your grandmother. Sir, did you kill your grandmother?
Oh dear.
Any consequences? Luke.
So it's a Sunday night and somebody called Jed wants to make jokes about my grandmother passing, where most of the young lads their age would have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or even just a friend. Seriously, if you are in a position to make jokes, I tell you what, Jed, my classes of an evening, you probably couldn't afford them. There's a free 60-minute class for you of an evening. And if you want to come along here and show us that your French is so good that you're cocky enough to make jokes about someone's grandmother passing, or my address is NW2, Central London, why don't you pop down and have a little group class and a couple of us will meet you and we'll see what we think then. But seriously, you dickhead, if you want to make jokes about somebody's grandma passing, go and sort yourself out. Please. Because the karma of that is just gonna whatever. It's just not even cool. All right. So it's always the same little Leeds voice, isn't it? It's always the same little tosspot in Leeds. Always the same. Right. So let's go to who should we go to? Let's go to Fatima. Have you just turned up? No, let's go to Lee. Lee, are you there?
Smoking on your grand's ashes.
I doubt how you could, because she was bloody buried, you daft cunt. But anyway, let's go to Fatima.
I've heard you fucking
That's all right. So you just keep speaking because that just gives Zoom longer to find you. So that's it. You just keep speaking because that just gives us more and more time to find you. Yeah, is that good? Keep say something else if you wouldn't mind. That's good. Lovely. Fatty, are you there, my love?
I am, but I just want to listen because I'm at a patient's house right now.
You're in a patient's house. Okay, good. Then can we go to let's go to Lee. Let's go to Lee. All right. You there, Lee? Shinobi, Lee, can't hear you.
Okay.
Good. Now, Lee, remember, you have treated us to some really, really, really nice joined up French. And you have treated us to some less joined up French. So we only want the joined up version. Yeah, we only want the joined up version. All right. Off you go, Lee. Hi, Luke. It's the first time since July. Off you go. Hi, Luke. It's the first time since July.
Hi, Luke. It's the okay. Bonjour, Luc. C'est la première fois depuis
July.
July. Oh, juillet.
Okay, good, lovely. Can we have a little bit more joined up? Off you go.
Bonjour, Luc. C'est la première fois depuis juillet.
That's so much better, Lee. That's so better. So much better. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Good. I have been very busy with my work.
J'étais très occupé avec mon travail.
I'm loving it vocally. Don't be nervous. It sounds bloody brilliant. Listen to me, Lee. I've been. Oh, Harry, don't worry about it. My God, if they'd alive, they'd be off out. They're honest to God, they need to run youth clubs for these dickheads. So off you go. Seriously. Plus, my grandma would kick the shit out of him even now. Lovely. So basically, off you go. So Lee, would you just please say for me? I've been, not I was. I've been. Don't worry, it's a what I have been, Jay. Good. Now listen, guys. If you're not Lee, could you turn your microphone off? Aideen, I can hear your microphone. Okay. So basically, here's how it works. I've been. Everybody forgets. Everybody forgets I've been. Firstly, because they mix it up with allé. They all go, oh yeah, je suis allé, whatever, whatever, whatever. Remember, the verb to be is not a be verb. It's not a be verb. Yeah, for some reason, it's not a be verb. So in other words, if you conjugate the verb to be in any tense, we're not going to have the verb to be. We're going to have like have. So j'ai été, j'aurais été, whatever, whatever, whatever. It's really important tense-wisely not to forget that j'ai été is common. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Up you go. So Lee, could you say to me, I have been very busy and this time I want it all joined up. Lovely.
J'ai été très occupé.
All joined up?
J'ai été très occupé.
Trays.
J'ai été très occupé.
That's lovely. Don't correct the error with a don't. What was it I congratulated Susan about? And then typically, because I bloody congratulated her, she didn't do it the next time. What is it I don't want you to do? I don't want you to stress the correction. I don't want you to go très occupé. Just say normally j'ai été très occupé.
J'ai été très occupé.
Good. Right, okay. Lovely. Off we go. With my work.
Avec mon travail.
But I like to see Luke's class when it's possible.
Mais j'aime bien regarder les leçons de Luc quand il est possible.
Will everybody remember the error I've told you all about loads? Don't say leçon. I hate it as a word. Cool. All right. Off you go. So I like to see Luke's lessons.
Mais j'aime bien regarder les cours de Luc
Look.
quand il est possible.
This is your little character. This is your little cartoon character. J'aime bien regarder. Make him slide down a slide. Make him nice and smooth. Off you go.
J'aime bien regarder les leçons de Luc quand il est
Abacha. You say lesson one more time and I want you to write the word cool. I want the word cool written on your forehead and you're going to WhatsApp me a photograph. Off you go.
J'aime bien regarder les cours de Luc quand il est possible.
Lovely. Quand il est possible. Okay. Good. Okay. Today, Luke started at 8:30. Well, more or less. Today, Luke started at 8:30.
Aujourd'hui, Luc a commencé.
No, Lee. If this is because your French weren't at this speed, then I wouldn't push for this. But I know you, and you've done a lot of work over the years, so your head's great. I don't want jump. I want a linear product. Off you go.
Mais aujourd'hui, Luc a commencé environ
Me, it's not joined up. Go back.
Mais aujourd'hui, Luc a commencé environ 5 heures.
Pause. Listen to me. We've had this conversation already. It's much better, but listen. You naturally have a very crisp and clear way of speaking English. It's very nice. It's very organized. It's very nice. It's very nice. I'm not asking you to race the French. I'm not asking you to increase the speed of the French. I do personally think you could. I do think you could go a bit faster because I know your level. But what I'm asking you to do, advanced people don't do an for me. It's but intermediate people, I don't mind a bit of an or the previous word being held. So, Luc a commencé I just want to hear sound constantly. Go again, because you go, and it just comes across a bit nervous. I know you are nervous, and I respect the fact that you are and that you still come. But go on, get used to doing it. Luc a commencé à 20 heures. Go.
Luc a commencé à 20 heures.
That's nice. That's nice. Good, okay. He was doing something different this afternoon. He was doing something different this afternoon.
Il faisait quelque chose de différent à l'après-midi.
$10 error, as I always say to people. These are one of the errors that I give people a fine for. Quelque chose has what after it if it goes into an adjective? Quelque chose. There we go. Off we go. He was doing something different.
Luc faisait quelque chose de différent cet après-midi.
Nice. It's getting much smoother. Relax into your throat. Il faisait quelque chose, as I said to Gabby. Il faisait quelque chose de différent cet après-midi. Good. Okay. Good. He had crossed the city of London to help his friend Al. He had crossed the city of London to help his friend Al.
Il avait traversé Londres pour aider son ami Al.
Good. Do you know what's interesting about people with small penises that make silly messages? To know that I've lost my grandma means that that person's still watching the grammar videos. So say what they want about their silly rudeness, but they always seem to watch the videos and they always seem to crop up. So it's a bit like, well, if you hate us all that much, why are you watching the grammar videos? Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, well, how do you even know about my grandma? Because you're watching the grammar video. So off you go. Lovely. Goodly, he had. Save me. He had left the house this morning at 11:50. He had left the house this morning at 11:50.
Il a quitté la maison.
Pause. I don't mind quitter as a verb, but I could also use partir. I want, and me and my little fry want, he had left. So when I asked you to say he had crossed, you didn't just say il a traversé. What did you do to il a traversé that made it he had crossed? Il
avait.
Great. So could you now say he had crossed using the same verb again? Just say he had crossed. Again, il avait
traversé.
Good. So what did you do with the tense in the middle? It was what, and what did it become?
It was and it became avait.
Good. Yeah, I know that. So what tense was it? Before?
It was present and then it was passé composé.
No. Look. Il a traversé. The whole thing is the passé composé. But what tense is at? What tense is at on its own?
On its own is passé composé.
No, it's not. Gabby has a beautiful house. Gabby a une belle maison. That's not the past.
Present.
I mean, until the bailiffs come round, it's still hers. Present tense. Gabby a. Lovely. What tense is avait on its own? Not as part of the whole thing. What tense is avait on its own?
L'imparfait.
That's it. So rather than focusing on, I need passé composé and then I'm going into plus perfect and plus que parfait, just think I'm just changing my middle word into the was tense. So if I said Luc est parti, what verb is a in the middle there?
Luc est parti. It's just
From which infinitive, Lee?
Être.
Good man. So what do I need you to do with the same verb in the middle if you said Luke had left? What did we just... That's it. So say it for them.
Il était parti.
That's it. That's it. That's our strategy. That's our strategy for going to had. That's our strategy. Say for me, I got washed. As an action. Poetry past, reflexive past. Give me I got washed. Je me suis
lavé.
Good work. Pause. What was the tense involved in the middle? Je me suis. What verb was suis from? What tense is suis from?
Être.
Good. And which tense?
Present, je suis.
That's it. So go on, make the same change for me, please, Lee, and say I had got washed.
Je m'étais lavé.
Good. Now, for those of you that are like, I don't really need to say this had shit. I don't say had very often. Firstly, we say I'd. So I'd got washed, but then I'd gone to the gym, so I had another shower or something like this. Or more importantly, particularly those of you that are doing A-level or high school leavers exams and stuff like this, you need it in that really nice combo. If I'd got washed, I would have been ready, but I'd forgotten to do, some stupid stuff like that, yeah? Good. So I'd like you specifically, Lee, to type into the YouTube homepage, present hypothetical or past hypothetical. Or actually, if you just email me and just say, Luke, can I have the videos on present hypothetical and past hypothetical? And next week, your shit, very specifically, is on, if I knew the answer, I would say something. If I had known the answer, I would have said something, all right?
Okay, it's just that I emailed you like a week ago, and I didn't get a response.
I know. And what have I said quite clearly to people with ears? That just buried a grandma on Wednesday and that the admin has only just been starting again. Yeah, have said quite clearly. And there was a whole YouTube video, which clearly somebody in Leeds has listened to, in which I said, sorry guys, been really busy with family stuff, only just getting the email going again, all right? Yeah?
Okay, so I didn't know that.
That's all right. You can WhatsApp me a photograph of the word "I'm so sorry" written across your forehead. Honest to God, no fucking manners. Just giving someone 20 minutes of my time, and that's how rude they are. Dead to me, Lee. You're dead to me. Don't worry. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm only joking. So basically, can we now go across to Arthur? Arthur. Oh no, Arthur's Maggie. So let's go to someone who we don't teach in the week. Let's go across to Aideen. Because Aideen's a bit of a lazy moo, because I give her all these free resources and she never actually drags her arse along. So let's have a little she's always off sipping champagne or something millennial. So she does. Right. So Stephanie, because my boyfriend's busy, I thought I'd say hello to my friend Luke. Off you go. Because my boyfriend's busy, I thought I would say hello to my friend Luke.
Parce que mon petit ami est occupé, j'ai pensé que I would say hello. Je dirais bonjour à mon ami Luc.
Good. Okay. You can use saluer as a verb to say hello, but like, je lui dirai bonjour. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. Luke and I have something in common.
Luc et moi ont quelque chose en commun.
We both slept with my fiance. You are headed in the right direction. Well done.
On a deux dormi avec mon fiancé.
Pause. Save me, we've slept.
On a dormi.
Dormi. Pronounce it your way. Dormi.
Dormi.
That's much nicer. What's the verb to sleep with rather than dormir? It is couche.
Coucher avec.
That's it. Tous les deux. On a couché avec mon fiancé tous les deux. Or tous les deux, on a couché avec mon fiancé. No particular word for both there. Tous les deux could be tous les trois. Okay? Yeah, but it's not, oh God. You're right, Gabby was there as well. So all three of us have slept with your fiancé. Up you go, say all three of us have slept with your fiancé.
Tu as raison, tous les trois ont couché, ont couché avec mon fiancé.
You've just brought something interesting up. Say for me, he has eaten, Luke has eaten.
Il a mangé et Luc a mangé.
Good job. They have eaten, Harry and Lee have eaten.
Ils ont mangé et Harry et Lise ont mangé.
Lovely, okay. We have eaten, Aideen and I have eaten.
On a mangé. Aideen et moi on mangé.
Very common mistake this. Aideen and I are the same as what?
Oui.
Ah! Oh no. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Say for me. No, but what you've cleverly done is that you didn't try and say Aideen et moi à manger or something like that. So well done. That's what most people do. Using nous, how would you say we ate?
Nous avons mangé.
Good job, lovely accent, nice joy. How would you say Aideen and I ate?
Aideen et moi avons mangé.
Good. So this is how it works. Firstly, you can say what you've just done. Aideen et moi sont partis. Like Aideen and I left, but you'd have to use the some bit of the verb, yeah? Or you say Aideen et moi, nous sommes partis, or nous avons parti. In other words, you take a little brief pause or a comma if you're writing, and you come in with a new and you do it the new way. As you've just beautifully demonstrated quite comfortably and quite correctly to be your main thing, you can use on. You can use on, but don't use the verb à unless you've had a chance to introduce the word on. So don't go, for example, oui, on a mangé, Aideen et moi à manger. You can't use à unless you've come in with the on, but you can use avon and some otherwise. It's a really, really common thing. Your private life is your private life, and especially given the dickhead brigade around here, I wouldn't mention anybody's names because, you know, I just don't get it. Which is a tragedy, but whatever, you know, small penises up from Leeds. It's just a tragic life that we live. But the fact is, let's pretend that your fiance's name is John. All right, let's just pretend that your fiance's name is John. All right, so how would you say, John and I met Luke. So last night, John and I met Luke, not for the first time. So the verb will be retrouver. So John and I met Luke.
So it's retrouver or rencontrer?
What did I say? It's not for the first time. When you're not meeting for the first time.
Yeah. John et moi on a retrouvé Luc.
Good. Say for me with the reflexive, John and I met. And now let's say this for the first time. So John and I know this will be freaking your head. I would piss if your fiance's name was John, but I know it's not. So basically say for me, John and I met. If we were talking about the first time, how would you say we met if it was the first time?
On s'est rencontrés.
Good, on s'est rencontrés. Yeah? Do that for me again with the nous then.
Nous sommes rencontrés.
Nous
sommes rencontrés.
That's lovely. All right. So if you said John and I showered, John and I met each other, John and I spoke to each other, as much as we've just practiced with avant, as much as we've just practiced with some, we can also practice with reflexive, can't we? So in theory, we could have John et moi, nous sommes rencontrés. Yeah? But it's much more common, much more common. You say John et moi, on s'est rencontrés. It's much more common. All right, good idea, all right? But you understand the point I'm making, all right? Good. Good. The boys spoke to each other yesterday at 11 o'clock. The boys spoke to each other yesterday at 11 o'clock.
Les garçons, ils ont parlé avec les autres.
They spoke to each other. What's that? Reflexive reciprocal, yeah. So les garçons?
Les garçons, ils se sont
Thank
parlé.
you. Good. Now give me again, this time going straight into it.
Les garçons, ils se sont parlé.
Going straight into it, which means I don't have a replacement subject pronoun. I just go les garçons and straight into the verb.
Okay. Les garçons se sont parlé.
Good. All right. If you think about it like this, people, forget the we thing. He, they has three possibilities. A and on, a and son, say and se sont. Really, isn't it? I think I did a video just before I kind of went offline for a little bit about basically how to conjugate at speed when you're not using nouns, when you're using names and nouns. And it was basically saying, look, just be very aware. So as a really good guide, if you've got a verb, whenever you conjugate it, so now any of my lot that everybody thinks I'm so bloody mean to, but they're the ones that have a one-on-one, and Aideen, I know you're waiting for a class, but I was just jam-packed last week. So basically,
Oh, very good. Yeah, yeah.
it's just because I didn't work Wednesday for the reason that lovely little dickhead has just reminded us all about. But the fact is, if you come across any new grammar for anything, and the same in your teaching with kids, in any grammar, by the time you get to the word he or they, just practice it with a name or a noun. So it's as great as it is to go. So for example, we've just done the passé simple in in like the group. So they're all like je parlais, tu parlas, il parla, nous parlons, vous parlâtes, il parlait. And Gabby and Susan, demonstrated, that they've remembered that really nicely. But if we were doing that in the class, I'd then say, right, well, what's he arrived? What's they arrived? What's Luke arrived? What's Luke and Gabby arrived? So that straight away, some teachers, and I really respect this, go, like say it was the present tense, they'd go, je mange, tu manges, il mange, Luc mange, nous mangeons, vous mangez, il mange, les garçons mangent. Like, so they're just on purpose install some people. So when I first started working with you privately, you were very good. You went, il mange, elle mange, on. You went, il, elle, on. Like you used to even say in a little run, il, elle, on, whatever. And I said, don't do that. I said, because by all means say il mange, elle mange, or on mange. But I said, you're practicing saying il, elle, on, or something similar that you used to do. And I said, we don't actually ever say il, elle, on together in French. So there's no point practicing doing that. But I really appreciate the point that you were making. But it'd be better just to say, il mange, Nive mange. Jackie mange, just some token, or Neve and Jackie mange. Do you know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. Yeah?
Make it more real life, like, yeah.
Because 90% of the time when we talk about stuff, as much as I break my back getting everybody here to do pronouns, we don't always use pronouns. Yeah, I meet John and Susan says, oh, well, John's gonna be late. It's not always gonna be he's gonna be late. Yeah, not the first time. Good, keep going, Adrian. Like, okay, Luke. It's impressive that Gabby can conjugate the passé simple. It's impressive that Gabby can conjugate the passé simple.
C'est impressionnant que Gabby elle peut conjuguer le passé simple.
Good. So again, if it's impressive, it's plus an adjective will give us mostly the subjunctive, won't it? Yeah, because it's want, need, doubt, fear, impersonal. It's an impersonal thing. So when you're teaching your lots to do essays, so if they say, I don't know, the Irish government has said that we need to recycle more or something like that, okay? And then you go, okay, so I'd like you to give me an opinion on that. I think it's fantastic or something like that. Fine. If you encourage them to go the other way around and you got them to say, it's fantastic that the Irish government has encouraged the use of recycling or something like that, notice how that shit straight away gets a subjunctive, because instead of being like, yeah.
And silly question now, but does every phrase with que apart from
No, it's not a stupid question at all. It's a very stupid. It's completely what everybody says. Let's just deal with it. Let's just deal with it. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Neither does every phrase with it's whatever. So let's just quickly break down the rules. I think that Aideen is beautiful. Je pense que Aideen est belle. Okay? That's not subjunctive. Yeah? If it were just, if all it took to be subjunctive were a que, I wouldn't be bothering with want, need, doubt, fear, impersonal, emotional. That's what's going to give you the subjunctive. So, I think that Harry is polite. Yeah, nice chap. Alors, je pense que Harry est sympa. Il est poli. Okay? It's, I want Harry to be polite. Want the, je veux qu'il soit poli. I need him to be polite. Il faut qu'il soit poli. I'm afraid he's polite. I don't want people to be horrible to him. I don't need to be too polite. J'ai peur qu'il soit poli. Neutral. It's interesting that he's polite because he's from the same neck of the woods as that little gobshite. Il est intéressant, or c'est intéressant qu'il soit poli. Emotional. I'm happy that Harry's polite. Yeah, je suis content que Harry soit poli. So those are the things that are going to give you largely, I mean, there are other ones, but mainly they're the ones that will largely give you the subjunctive. Want, need, doubt, fear, personal, emotional. Sing it back to me.
I want, need, doubt, fear, personal, and emotional.
Impersonal, great. Okay. If it's impersonal means it's or it is. So, for example, like Aidine's got a lovely figure. It's grand. Aidine's got a lovely figure because she's going to look lovely, you know, when she chooses a dress. You know, that would mean, so she has got elle a. It's fantastic that she's, you know, c'est fantastique qu'elle est. That's subjunctive. But if it's like it's certain, it's sure that she's got a lovely figure, that's not subjunctive because there's an element of certainty to it. Good. Likewise, if you took an it's and you had a certain noun, sorry, a certain adjective, like it's sure that, but if you then made that unsure, like it's not certain that Aidine's got a lovely figure because she has just discovered the cash shop or something like that. I'm not in any way fat shaming, and you can have a beautiful figure and be a size 26. But what I'm saying is, you know, if that became doubtful, then that would go to subjunctive. So to answer your question, no, not every cut is subjunctive, not in any way, shape, or form. French is quite light on it. Like in Italian, if you say, for example, there is so much more subjunctive because of the thing, because of cut, for exactly the reason you just said. Exactly the reason you just said. So, for example, in Italian, and then if you say, like, oh, I think Aidine's beautiful, it sort of doesn't even feel that you're saying it because you're like, I think she could be beautiful. It just feels, yeah. So yes, so to answer your question, no, it isn't. Good, keep going for me. Luke has explained to me how I'm going to conjugate. Oh, sorry, so go back to my thing then. So say for me, it's impressive, which is neutral because it's impressive, but Gabby can conjugate, sorry, that Gabby can conjugate the passé simple. Your accent's gorgeous. Use your accent to remember this grammar. Use your gorgeous accent, use your gorgeous thinking. Yeah, you don't want to know stuff. Although it's your job to know stuff and to then re-explain it. Say it again. Do what I'm trying to get Lee to do. Link it, so that your mouth just knows this. So that your mouth goes, c'est impression que Gabby put, that just feels wrong. It won't feel wrong if you don't join it. If you don't get used to joining it, you'll think, well, the word per sounds a perfectly grand word to me. I haven't got a problem with the word per. Yeah, good. Lovely. A couple of other things. If you're talking about a skill, we don't always use pouvoir, we use savoir. So it's great that Aideen can speak French. How do you do that? C'est fantastique, c'est bien qu'elle sache parler. You know, okay, we often do that. Good. I've done many videos. The most popular video is the one which deals with the subjunctive, legitimately by thousands. So say for me, I've done lots of videos.
J'ai fait beaucoup de vidéos.
Pause. Beaucoup
de vidéos.
Good. To remind you all, I don't see Aideen all the time. So for the people like Neil who have a little go, I only shout to the people I see once a week who have a hardcore hour and have been given homework and then forget it this week. So, beaucoup de versus beaucoup de. Beaucoup de is completely good French. Beaucoup de is completely good French, but they're different. You don't need the after. Gabby will tell you a verb, a word of quantity. Is beaucoup a word of quantity?
Yeah.
So in French, you've got this rhythm going. Luke's going to go and buy apples. Luke va acheter des pommes. You've got this thing where you know it's important to shove in a day a lot of the time, don't you? So if it was, I'm going to go and buy drinks for the girls, you know, to celebrate my good news or something. Alors moi, je vais acheter quelque chose à boire or des bières. You know, you know that we shove in this day. So that's why you guys think you all need a day all the time. But you don't need one after words of quantity. Beaucoup de, trop de, moins de, fewer, trop de, too many, you know. You know, so in other words, you can, if it was like lots of the students Aideen has worked with, are very happy. You know, beaucoup des étudiants, of the students. Fine, if it's of the, grand, go for it. But if it's just lots of students on its own, how would you say lots of students?
Beaucoup d'étudiants.
Good linking, madam. How would you say lots of friends?
Lots of friends, is it?
Yeah. That's it? Yeah, okay. Or no friends, if you were from Leeds and made comments about people's dead grandmothers. Or no pubes, perhaps no pubes. Good, Aideen. Lovely. All right, so that is it, one to clean up. Okay, good. Excellent. Well done. Good. And WhatsApp me if you want a bit of time this week, because I have got to Try and put a little pockets, but they're in different places. So WhatsApp me ASAP with what days you can do. Good, 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 good. Let's go to who haven't we had in a while? Susie. Susie. Are you there, Susie?
Yeah.
Good. So say to me, today I have drunk one cider.
J'ai bu un cidre.
Lovely. Breathe in for me. J'ai bu un cidre.
J'ai bu un cidre.
I would like to drink a second cider.
Je voudrais boire un deuxième cidre.
Breathe in, one sentence. Good job. Breathe in.
Je voudrais
Yeah.
boire un deuxième cidre.
Breathe in. One go or one sentence.
Je voudrais boire un deuxième cidre.
The grammar is flawless, but I'm not getting it as one sentence. Breathe in. Je voudrais boire un deuxième cidre.
Je voudrais boire un
No,
deuxième cidre.
listen. People who are good like to do this. I'm good at French. I'm good at French. I'm good at French. One of my best speakers is a chappie called Al. That's why I'm late. We're doing his garden. He was perfect. Get your mouth used to dealing with something longer. What can I say? Your mouth needs to be used to dealing with something much longer. Okay? No one wants that little scrap of 3 inches. I mean, 3 words. No one wants that at all. So basically, can you please just say, you know, what did you say? I would like to drink a second cider. J'aimerais boire un deuxième cidre. Just get used to doing a sentence that length. J'aimerais boire un deuxième cidre. Go on.
J'aimerais boire un deuxième cidre.
That's gorgeous, Susie. That literally was the nicest accent. Gabby's somewhere vomiting in jealousy. I mean, that was just so nice. Show up. Good. All right. Because what do people do when they speak to you guys? They speak in sentences. They speak in sentences, don't they? People speak in sentences. When French people speak, we tend to speak in sentences. We don't go, so Susie, I was thinking, do you want to do it? It's just not a good habit to get into. No, we've lost Susie because she's got poo internet. Are you there, Susie? Are you back? Can you hear me?
I'm still here. Can you
That's
see
it.
me? I know it went for a second. It's been perfect for it until my turn.
She's in a women's prison, and they're all on the phones at the same time. So good, off you go, Susie. So second, Luke is going to come to see my mom's house. Luke, from the beginning to the end, Luke is going to come to see my mom's house. Go.
Luc va venir te voir la maison.
Pause. Stack infinitives. Job done. There are a few I will give you, you know, I'll accept. There are a few that like a preposition. Essayez de, commencer à, continuer à or de, depending. Some people use both. But most of the time, you can just stack infinitives. So say for me, Luke is going. No, Susie, Luke's going. Luke to come. Then
Luc va venir
to see. What's the verb to see?
te voir.
No, the verb to see. What is the verb to see? Susie, what is the verb to see? What? I know, but can I have it without a bloody duh? Can I just have Luke is going to come to see? Can you just stack the infinitives? Luke is going. Susie, camera off. Turn your camera off. Yeah, turn your camera off, but stay in the group. That's it, my love. That should help. Right, Luke is going to come to see. There we go.
Luc va venir
To
te
see.
voir.
I do love how.
Luc va venir voir. Luc va venir voir.
This is when people have a go at me. Did we all just hear me graciously go for 3 months? It felt like 3 months. 3 minutes saying you don't need a duh. You stack an infinitive, and then off we go again, and we got duh. So you could just say to me, Luke, off you go. Luke's going to come to see.
Luc va venir voir.
That's great. That's great. That's great. This is called stacking infinitives. Let's do another. I want to eat. Off you go. I want to eat.
Je veux manger.
Nice joining, nice joining, nice joining. God, if you could join like that, you could do any grammar, Susan. Do the joining. Stick a token video on and just copy it and join. Lovely voice. Lee, with no criticism or anything at all, this was the shittest voice for joining I've ever come across for joining. And now listen to it. It's exquisite. It was literally the most clipped, separate voice you've ever heard. It was to the point that I heard it on this group thing and said, good God, in the name of pity and charity, let me give you a free voice class. Seconded only by Tess, who also has an equally exquisite voice. So when I'm pushing you, Lee, on joining, that's not me being an asshole. The two of my best accents are people who are absolutely fucking hopeless at joining when we first got going. Fucking hopeless. Yeah? So join, Lee. All right, good. Now I'll pay the compliment. Whenever you pay a compliment, the person then fucks up. So say for me, I want to eat. One more time. Join.
Je veux manger.
I want you to stack infinitives. I want to be able to eat.
Je veux.
What's the verb to add to? Prove.
Je veux pouvoir manger.
There you go. Say it again for me normally.
Je veux pouvoir manger.
I want to. No. I'm going to eat. Say for me, I'm going to eat.
Je vais manger.
I'm going to have to eat.
Je vais avoir manger.
Je vais
devoir.
Yes, but with more than one infinitive. Je vais devoir
manger.
Link.
Je vais devoir manger.
What did I tell you? I just pay a compliment and it goes to shit. Say for me, je vais devoir manger. Link, go. Go on, Link.
Je vais devoir manger.
Great. Now let's show. Good. That's it. But this is what happens when people aren't used to putting more than one word together, or three. They can normally do three. Je vais devoir manger. People like to go. That's it. Small mouth.
Je vais devoir manger.
Susie, I need you to imagine.
Je vais devoir manger.
Susie, listen. I need you to imagine that you've got your beautiful lips clamped around something very small and very narrow. Can you do that for me, Susie? I'm sure you can. Imagine that your lips are clamped around something very small and very narrow. Lie back and think of Richmond and just say to me, je vais devoir manger.
Je vais devoir manger.
You've done that before. Lovely. So the fact is, that's what we do. Now let's bring on the more advanced side of stacking pronouns. When Gabby, who's otherwise brilliant, decides not to bring her game brain, what does she do? I always make her say bits before verbs except before and in. Lovely. So in other words, you're quite used to this format. Je vais voir, je vais le voir. Yeah, you're quite used to sticking the pronoun. I'm going to see, je vais voir, I'm going to see him, je vais le voir, something like that. If you're stacking an infinitive and you've got multiple infinitives, where does the pronoun go, Susan? Before the last infinitive. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to add infinitives, but you're going to remember that the pronoun is going to go, the mu, the tut, the nu, the vu, the look, the lap, the lui, the is going to go before the last infinitive, even if we've got more than one. Agreed?
Agreed.
Off we go. Luke is going to do it. So Luke is going to do it.
Luc va le faire.
Correct word order, but what's Luke going? Luke isn't he. Luke.
Luc va le faire.
Can I have it in one sentence? Join.
Luc va le faire.
Better. Don't give me separate speech. It's just a waste of time. You won't learn the grammar from it. Good. Luke's going to have to do it. Oh, Luke's going to have to do it.
Luc va avoir le faire.
Correct word order, but the verb to have to is not to have, it's devoir. Luke's going to have to do
Devoir,
it.
of course. Luc va devoir le faire.
Without the bloody rest clause.
Luc va devoir le faire.
A French sentence is not Richmond Hill. We do not stop on the bench halfway up, have a little breather, and admire the view. We get to the bloody end. Good. Go again. Luke's going to have to do it.
Luc va devoir
There you go. And also, notice how much better someone's voice sounds when they do this. Good. Okay. Luke's going to speak to him. Let's say the to him were Jason. Yeah. Luke's going to speak to him.
Luc va parler.
Luke's going to speak to him. Don't forget a pronoun.
Luc va le parler.
To him.
Luc va parler à Louis.
Anybody who knows me knows how much I love repeating the direct versus the indirect again and again and again. So Neil, who likes to have a little go, for Susie's birthday this year, I gave her a free class. We got lots of really impressive work done. One of them was a quick reminder on what the direct is versus the indirect. So when someone comes along and can't remember the difference between le and lui, you can see why it makes my blood boil. So say for me, Susie, Luke is going to speak to him. Luc va
Luc va Louis parler.
That's it. Now say it for me in French.
Luc va Louis parler.
That's it. Not look. What goes wrong? What goes wrong? Susie hears Luc va le parler, which is completely good French. It sounds correct. It sounds correct. That's good French. Luke's going to speak it. French, or listen, Luke's going to speak it. Listen. Luc va le parler. Fine. All right. Good. All right. Luke's going to have to speak to him.
Luc va devoir lui parler.
Flawless. Luke is going to start speaking to him. Before we go any further, say for me, I'm starting. Je commence. Say I'm starting speaking. Je commence.
Je commence parler.
Now, this is another reason why I like grammar said quickly, because then your mouth learns the muscle memory. Je commence. What is commence? That's it, commence. I don't want you walking around with your heads full. I don't want you going, oh, comment ça takes that. Comment ça. Just get used to saying the damn thing. So say for me, I'm going to finish. Just say, I'm going to finish.
Je vais
Finish. Good. I'm going to work.
Je vais travailler.
I'm going to start working.
Je vais commencer à travailler.
There you go. I'm going. Stack them, Susie. Stack them. I'm going. And remember, you only have to conjugate the first verb, and that conjugation could be in any tense. It could be I was going, j'allais. Okay, so let's stick to present though, because I'm not that spiteful. Can we say, who am I kidding? Let's do I was going, j'allais. Okay, so j'allais, that's our first verb. I was going to have to start working. Pardon my gardening fingers, I've just been digging soil. So say for me, I'm going, let's do the present. Say for me, I'm going
Je vais
to have to
devoir.
start working.
Commencer à travailler.
There we go, put it together, make me a nice big sandwich.
Je vais devoir commencer à travailler.
Good. That's all it is. So are you all familiar, people, with stacking infinitives? Oh, do you know what? I'm going to have to try and do it. It's normal English. I am going to have to try to. It's so GCSE. Like, I want to speak. He likes to speak. Gabby needs to sleep. I mean, whatever, you know. Do you take my point, Susan? Good. Good. And any grammar you get from me, it doesn't matter what anybody says, or little Neil has a moan, say it bloody quickly and properly, otherwise you just won't remember it. Good. Let's have a little go over to, Kim. Kim. Good. Hello. Can you say in the book tense, let's imagine this is a book about the love story that is Luke and Al, not Luke and Al, Luke and Al and the garden. Okay. Say for me, the two men spoke at 11 o'clock in a book. The two men spoke to each other. The two men spoke to each other at 11 o'clock.
Les deux hommes parlaient
Pause, but the two men, is that he or a they?
Eux se parlèrent. Ok.
Yep, save me.
Les deux mecs se parlèrent ensemble.
To be honest, it's not really like Kim is going to need to say this orally because she's only ever going to read it. That said, it wouldn't surprise me if Kim wrote a French novel. But like some people, I really do just say, look, you just need to recognize this tense. But, you know, it's still good to have, all right? Good, okay. Following their conversation, lovely, suite à, notice, following plus a noun, okay? Luke took the train. In a book, still, yeah. All of this is a lovely book. Yeah, it is. And so what's... Oh no, it's the verb prendre, and what is that in the passé simple?
I can't think of what it is.
Can I? Yes, well done, she got there. Can I remind you? Little tip. Not all the time. Susie, have you ever had a little tip? I'm sure you have. If you basically have a past tense with an e, j'ai pris, j'ai dit, j'ai mis. Not all the time, but a lot of the time that will be the irregular. So je prie, tu pries, il prie, nous prie, vous priez, il prie. Je dis, tu dis, il dit, nous dit, vous dites, il dit. So could you say to me, Luke took the train. Okay. He was carrying a large bag.
Il portait un grand sac.
He was carrying.
Il portait un grand sac.
Il portait. We don't need the passé simple in a book if there's a was tense, okay? After he had arrived, Al gave him a cup of coffee. Well, no, he didn't. I mean, I went and made myself one. I mean, God bless him, but we know it's the same shit. But nice topic. So after he had arrived, Al gave him a cup of coffee.
So he had arrived. Okay. Après qu'il s'est arrivé, Luc.
Pause. Say for me in oral French, he had arrived. Say for me he arrived normally. Just he arrived.
Il est arrivé.
Let me now make it orally. He had arrived.
Il s'est arrivé.
This is what some people do. Now, this is what I like. If you gave Kim a pen and you said, explain to me what's going on there, it would be flawless. When the brain starts getting organic, it starts going, I need a change. My brain knows I need a change there. When it tries to get organic rather than thinking about grammar, and a possible change would be A becoming say, which is reflexive.
Oh my God.
No. But now, as someone who's done this for a long time, so yeah, I am always like this kind of thing. It's what you call lily pad thinking. It means someone's brain isn't walking around going, I need, and this is not knocking you in any way, shape, or form. Lee, you've obviously not done as many hours as Kim. I'm not knocking that. But this is when people stop walking around going, to create the had, I need to make the middle verb a was. They just go organically, I need some form of a change. There are many changes that could happen to il est sorti. He could say, il était sorti, as we now need. Arrivé, sorry. Il est arrivé, il était arrivé. Qu'il soit arrivé. Or il sera arrivé. All of these are one lily pad jump from where we need to be. But Kim, could you say to me again then, he had arrived? Just normally, he had arrived, il était.
Il était arrivé.
Nice. Some speakers will say, il était arrivé. Some speakers will say, il est arrivé. Il était arrivé. Putain de merde, il était arrivé. I would say it with the join. It feels weird not to. If we're going in a book after après que, which you remember beautifully, which in itself is not to be sniffed at. If you wanted to say après avoir there, then you get your ass onto the après que video. All right. If it's after après que, what is after he had arrived going to be in a book?
Après que.
No.
Après qu'il
No, Mama, you've not. I don't think you've formally done this yet. This is tomorrow. I'm just wondering if you knew it. Yeah, I mean, no. This is ding ding round 2 of our passing sample week of weird shit. So you did it. That's the fucking yeah.
Okay.
So people that are watching, if you have got a book, you don't tend to use the have. You can sometimes if you say I have and in my life I have, but for simple action, Kim spoke with Gabby or Kim rang Sandy, Kim parla, Kim appela. In a book, if you said Kim had spoken with Sandy, that's still fine. You can still say that normally. Kim avait parlé avec Sandy, or Kim avait whatever, or était Harry, Lee. If it's after, après que, aussitôt que, dès que, quand. No, it's new. It's new to you. And Kim, again, it's not some shit that you're gonna have to recognize. It's just so that you know to go backwards and forwards. So basically, in a book, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We swap it for u or fu. We swap it for u or fu.
Sorry.
Go for it, yeah.
Ça faisait après qu'il fut arrivé.
Yeah.
Ok, après qu'il fut arrivé, lui donner.
We're still in a book. À lui donne.
Lui donne une tasse de café.
Yeah, we'll imagine that. That will imagine that. Okay. Good. There's this really comedy thing. Pardon me going off topic, but so I was explaining to Corinne, and moi j'expliquais à Corinne ce que je faisais, and I was saying to her, so I was doing this kind of book tent stuff, and she's going, "Wow, that's really cool that you're doing it with people." Et elle avait dit, alors c'est chouette, bravo, c'est formidable que tu le fasses avec les élèves. And I was saying about how, as well as doing the passé sampler, when I teach books, I like to make sure that over a course of about 3 weeks, that we've looked at every single book text, even the mega archaic ones, like subjunctive, imperfects and all this kind of stuff, or past subjunctive imperfects, jus, fini, and all this. Ugh. And Corinne made the joke, which is, she's quite a well-known joke, which is sus is to suck, yeah? And sus is like also the imperfect subjunctive of the verb to know. So if it was like, I would have preferred that you suck it or something like that, then the oral joke is, in a book, j'aurais préféré que tu le suces. I'd have preferred that you knew, which literally means in a book, I would have preferred you to know it, but like slang-wise is like, but sounds obviously orally in French, like I preferred you to suck it. Do you know what I mean? Or something like that. And I just thought, do you know what? That's quite funny for Corinne. I did. I thought, that's a little bit of filth. Well done, good girl. Good, excellent. Keep going, Kim. Okay. So, Luke wants me to be familiar with all these tenses so that I can recognize them. Luke wants me to be familiar with all of these tenses so that I can recognize them.
Luc veut que je sois familière avec tous les temps pour que je puisse les reconnaître.
Lovely. Luc veut que je sois familière, because Kim is a lady, avec tous ces temps pour que je puisse les reconnaître. Okay, good. Okay. Lovely. Luke wants to be familiar with all the. I mean, you kind of hope that he is. Luke wants to be familiar with all of these tenses so that he can recognize them. Luke wants to be familiar with all of these tenses so that he can recognize them.
Luc veut être familier avec tous les temps pour qu'il.
Same person.
Yeah, pour qu'il peut voir. Non.
Correct idea. You're just a hair wrong. Correct idea. So what did you try and change it to? Kim's brain went, I don't, it's the same person, so I need an infinitive. You do. Where does the infinitive go? After Paul. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Okay, it's not necessary, and indeed sometimes it just sounds wrong to say, sometimes it is, sometimes you can, but generally, for example, okay, I want Kim You want in English say, okay, so I want Kim to come to France with us. I want Gabby to come to France with us. I want Luke to, I wouldn't say I want, so in French, I want Kim to come, je veux que Kim vienne. I want Gabby to come, je veux que Gabby vienne. I want, I want, you wouldn't say I want that I come. You'd say I want to come, je veux venir. And it's kind of like that in French. With other expressions, if one person's doing the first thing, you wouldn't do it. So for example, I went to Paris so that Kim could, whatever, see some show. Je suis allé à Paris. I'm going to go to Paris so that Kim can see, whatever, a museum. Alors moi, je vais aller à Paris pour que Kim puisse voir un musée. I'm going to go to Paris so that I can see, even if in your English, you would say so that I'm going to go to Paris. I can see. We just don't like saying pour que. We just say like, alors moi je vais aller à Paris pour pouvoir voir. Yeah, you would use the infinitive. All right, good. Excellent. All right. Can we go to John? Good job. So this week, Luke. This week, that's it. Okay. Lovely. I know that. You are going to try. Try. I probably will, but you're going to try. You're going to try. That's it. Now, what comes after essay? You're going to try to find. That's it. So you're going to try to find. John, don't get all stuttery, because when you first started, I congratulated you on how smooth it was. Stay smooth. Say to me, tu vas essayer de trouver. John, the bricks that you are putting together are large bricks. They're not tiny mosaic pieces. So tu vas essayer de... Put large bricks together, John. Don't put little mosaic bits together. So tu vas essayer de trouver.
Tu vas essayer de trouver.
To find, what's the verb to find? Trouver. That's it. Now pop in a practice. So far in that sentence, what was the last infinitive? So tu vas. Say it to me one time. Thank you. So if I wanted a pronoun, as I was doing with Susie, where does the pronoun go? Before the last infinitive. So could you say, you're going to try to find me a class? You're going to try to find me a class. So we could say bits before verbs and less before an infinitive, or bits before verbs and less before the last infinitive. Yeah, so I'm going to do it, je vais le faire, one infinitive, no problem. I'm going to have to do it, je vais devoir le faire. Good, up we go. As said by Susie. She knows what she's got to do. She's got to do it. So, hell yeah. So say for me, you are going to try to find me a class. The word for class is a cours. My nerves could not cope with the word class or leçon. All right, so say for me, you are going to have to find me a class. Go. No, sorry, I apologize. You are going to try to find me a class. Susan, did I just bloody teachers? They have no bloody morals. Honestly, this is why teachers should not be allowed to put the recommended papers through. For all these people that are like, oh, we're going to use the predicted grades. Oh, and record results, because teachers like, oh, I'm sure they'd have got an A. Good God, teachers are immoral. It's John's go. Off you go. Cheating is not helping. So you are going. Pause. Listen to me. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. SAE has what? SAE. Pause. You have given me the bastard chimera hybrid of trouver and travailler. Other than the fact that they've both got a T, an R, and a V in them, they are different verbs. Okay? Okay? You know, your wife's name is Susan. If I said you're now going to go and spend the night with some guy called whatever, Stephen, just because it begins with an S and ends in an N, it's not the same creature, is it? So neither are trouver and travailler, all right? So could you say for me, you are going to find me, you are going to try to find me, tu vas essayer.
Tu vas essayer de me trouver.
Flawless. Flawless, John, well done. So are we still all comfortable on the stacking of infinitives? Good, okay? Good. I know that you are very busy, occupied. I know that you're very busy. Don't do an intellectual black hole. What that means is you go, yay, I know the word for busy. And you just want to run to it. You just want to run to it. I'm coming, Luke. I'm coming. I know the vocab. And don't forget the rest of the sentence, right? I know that. You are. Are, not have. Good muscle memory. Great muscle memory. Just not. This is why you've got to practice things being all joined up, Susie. Because basically your mouth then goes fine. Tu as. That's a good little combo. But you wouldn't say tu as occupé unless it's you have occupied something, right? You know. So it's safe for me. I know that you are. I know that you are busy. Off we go. Je sais que.
Je sais que tu es occupé.
Good. Now that was perfect. And I dare say other teachers would be happy. But I didn't get you all the way up the hill without a little bit of a breath. So go for me. Tu es très. Je sais que tu es très occupé. Je sais que tu es très occupé.
Je sais que tu es occupé.
You had to have your breath. I added a very, but that's not the end of the world. I know that you are very busy. Off you go, all the way through. Just say.
Je sais que tu es très occupé.
Nice.
Très occupé.
Some people do, some people don't. More likely, yes. Good. That's a French sentence. We don't want da-ba-da-ba-da, rest, da-ba-da-ba-da, rest. Good. Especially in September. The world and their dog want to start work in September, don't they? Say to me, especially in September.
Word for especially.
Try going round, say to me particularly.
Particularly.
Flawless. See? Go round. En septembre. Lovely. Nobody knew John, especially surtout, on all, above all. Okay, okay. But Luke likes my voice, and we're not done, John. We're not going up a little hill. We're going up a bigger hill. You can do it. Luke likes my voice, and he thinks I will be able to speak French. Luke likes my voice and he thinks I will be able to, irregular future, but not beyond you, speak French. I think good. Pause. What's my name? You are more practiced saying j'aime. So you just gave me this weird hybrid of Luke and je. Okay, good. That's it. Luke likes my voice. Keep going. And he thinks I will be able to speak French. No. He thinks that I will be able to. Yeah, there's no me thinks. Pause. I will be able to. What's the verb to be able to? To can, Lewis. Spot on. What is it? John, what is the 3-beat technique for the future? Ray. Good man. Ray, ra, wrong. Do you have any experience of anybody saying this? Pouvoirai, pouvoira, pouvoiront. No. What does it become? Pourrait, pourra, pourront. Which one of those three do I need for the will be able to?
Pourrait. I would be able to. Je pourrais.
No, but if it's Luke thinks that,
Like,
yes, I apologize. Yes, it was I be able to. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Good. I need.
je pourrais apprendre le français.
Well, I said speak, but learn is fine. That's fine. Okay. No, okay. Lovely. Say to me, it's a question of concentration and repetition. Up we go. It's a question of concentration and repetition.
C'est une question.
Pause. I like the fact that it's joining. How do you say QUI in French? Q. No. Listen. Shh. Listen to my question. How do you say QUI in French? What's that word? There you go. God, no one listens. So having now established that a QU is hard, yeah, how could you say to me the word question? Question. That's it. To say to me, it's a question of. All QUs are hard. Quantité, qualité. Yeah. Say to me, it's a question of concentration and repetition. Yeah, just need to say a few things a few times. It's a question of repetition and concentration. Whatever.
C'est une question de concentration et répétition.
Good. So some people say c'est une question de la concentration et de la répétition. Okay, mais c'est une question de concentration. Okay, good. I have lots of friends.
J'ai beaucoup d'amis.
Do you remember the rather nice Irish young lady that we just had? Aideen, yeah? And do you remember me talking over all of your classes are good for other people? So could you say to me, I have lots of friends?
J'ai beaucoup d'amis.
Flawless. The present. The present. Le présent.
Le présent.
The past.
Passé.
Good. The future.
Le futur.
Le futur. Okay. The imperfect. The plus que parfait. The perfect. Ça fait le plus que parfait. The subjunctive. You haven't done subjunctive formally yet, but you hear it. So say to me the subjunctive, the subjunctive. Love it. Say and. Not E. We're not in Spain. Yeah. Okay. Have you done some Spanish?
Many years ago.
Okay. It's ever so weird. High school Spanish, even decades later, people will remember the conjunction like and. They'll always remember E. They always will. Okay. Good. It took me about 18 months to get Brenda to stop saying E. Because she'd done Spanish. And consequently, when I learned Spanish, to say E broke my brain. And then when I learned Italian, and I had to go back to A, I was like, so just me, okay? So say to me, and I like all my friends. All my friends. All my friends. Good, well done. Go to my channel and type TOUT at some point, and there's a video, I think I might have recommended this to you before, on when to pronounce tu as tu and when to pronounce is tut and tus. If it's before like all my friends, just tu mes amis, right? Okay, not tous mes amis, tu mes amis, okay? Good, okay. So John likes all the tenses, but no, John likes all the tenses, and the word for tense is the time. The word for tense is the time. That's it. All. What's the word for all if we're referring to a plural? Good. Pause. We just answered that 30 seconds ago. I literally told you. Which one was it? That's it. God, you correct someone and they don't even listen. What did I say? I said all before like an article like mine or something like this. No. That's going to be two. Okay, not going to be two. Okay, two. So say to me, John likes all the tenses. Something. Yeah? Don't. That's it. Don't black hole. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice place to be when you're like, yee. I know the last word. Yee. It's a great place to be that your vocab brain goes, yay, I've got the word for tenses. But don't miss out the tenses. So pause. We want to go all the way up the hill. So John aime tous les temps. Look how nice and join that was. Good, right? Saying it that way means that you are less likely next time to say tousse or some shit like that, right? Good, okay. Good. But we need to choose the correct tense. Off you go. We need to choose the correct tense. Pardon me, let me help you. We need to choose the right. We need to choose the right tense. Good. Choose. Good. Pause. Now. Good. I'm very happy. Very happy, John. Raison means right. If you say, I'm right, j'ai raison, tu as raison. If you say right as in, Susan is the right woman for the job. I need someone that will shout out the answers before someone gets a chance to think. That's my girl. I'm going to pick. So basically, in other words, that word is good and bad. What's the word for good, John? Nice. What's the feminine word for good? Nice. Bon. What's the word for bad? Mauve. Good. What's the word for bad feminine? Nice work. That's the word for right and wrong, if then followed by noun. John's the right guy for the job. Il est le bon mec pour le travail. He's the wrong guy for the job. He's got too much experience. Il est la mauvaise personne. So good. So we need to choose. Now, I don't care if your brain went nous avons besoin de straight away, or if you went I need, j'ai besoin, and then just did a little template and thought what I need is I have, so we have. I don't care how you did it. It's correct. Well done, you. Very good job. So nous avons besoin de choisir le bon temps, the right tense. Okay. Good. Do one more thing for me. We need to choose it. We need to choose it. Slide smoothly all the way down. Where's my lead word gone? Good. That's it. Don't be an intellectual black hole. I like it. Your wife did it as well. I like it. It's a good thing. It means that you're comfortable, you're excited about the little bit. Susan used to do it. I'd be like, bang on. Especially if it was new grammar. She'd be so keen to get to the new grammar bit. I'd be like, don't forget the first half of the sentence. Good job. Good. All right. Good. Is my girl Marcy there, please? Marcy, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good. Now, you look cool. So, could you please say to me, this week, Luke discovered my little secret.
Look at the coffee.
Pause, we've done this before. How do you say Luke is opened? Luke a ouvert, Luke a couvert, Luke a découvert. Lovely. My little secret. I have a computer for a brain. I did, Marcy. You did, because you're the way you sucked up the passive sample. It was ungodly. All right, then, well, Marcy, you just have a computer for a brain and you just save everything on the desktop. That's fine. Okay, so say for me, I have a computer for a brain. Cell. Good. Breathe in. Go all the way up the hill. I want it all in one go. Good. Okay. Aideen, I've just seen the message you sent me, which is lovely. Good. Because Luke told me how to form the passé simple. Luke told me is an action. What do actions have, Marcy?
3 bits. It's got an auxiliary.
That's it. Yeah. It's not bad to say 3, and I used to teach 3, but when people get more advanced like you now, I stop saying 3 and I start saying just do the auxiliary. For the simple reason being, you could say the boys spoke, with me, les garçons ont. Do you know what I mean? Like, in other words, it wouldn't be 3 because les garçons could be 2 words. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Or if we start bringing in the boys spoke to each other, there's the action, but it won't be 3 because it'd be les garçons se sont pas. So at this level now, but you're absolutely right, but don't think of it as 3 anymore, just think of it as auxiliary, all right? Good, okay. Good, so Luke told me how to form. Lovely, the passé simple. Because he wants me to read a few pages every month. I'm wanting you're reading what needs to go in the middle then. He wants. That's it. Pause now. If someone's wanting and then there's a que, what's going to be on the other side? What if you have want and then that? Want is the. Did you mean infinitive or did you need another word that ends with if? That's it. Was it A, div, B, spiv, C, sieve, or subjunctive? It was subjunctive, wasn't it? So yeah, so Luke wants me to read. Pause, Marcy. In normal French, the verb to read is nice bloody accent. How is that an A verb or soft hard verb?
It's a soft hard.
What is the soft of lire? Je lis. So when we go into the subjunctive, regular soft hards are no longer soft, are no longer soft. What do they become, Marcy? They become hard. And to find the hard, we often need to look at the they form. Let's look at the present. Side note, don't get confused. If we're after the imperfect, we look at the we form. Yeah? If we're after the subjunctive, we look at the they form, right? So, je lis, tu lis, il lit, nous lis. Nous, normally, nous, vous, therefore, il lit. There you go. So Luke wants me to read. Lovely. A few pages. Okay. Page. You're being clever. That's Italian. Quelques pages. Okay. The word that we have in French from that word is feuille. Yeah, feuille. Yeah, okay. You're thinking about folio, feuille, all the same reason. Okay. Lovely. So now slide all the way down the hill. Say to me, Luc veut que je lise quelques pages. Just get used to doing that. That was absolutely fine. That was absolutely fine. Just get used to doing it. If you go Luc veut que je lise. That's it. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I said, I can't do it. Nuts. So there, those of you that have been doing stacking of infinitives, notice, those of you that have been stacking infinitives, that teaching and eating broccoli is a bad idea. It's this burgundy broccoli. It's a right crumbly little thing. 1 second. So notice today that we've done a lot of work with stacking of infinitives, and we've done a lot of work with stacking infinitives and then popping on a pronoun. Notice that for the most part, if you're going to use a negative, then that will come on the first word. So it'd be like, Susie said, I'm going to have to do it. Je vais devoir le faire. If that was negative, I'm not going to have to do it. Je ne vais pas devoir le faire. So, good. So, secondly, I said, I'm sorry, Luke, but I can't do it.
Je suis désolé, Luke. Je ne peux pas le faire.
Because every evening I read 20 pages of the Bible, said Marcy.
Parce que chaque semaine, sorry, could you repeat the sentence?
Every evening I read 20 pages of the Bible. No, chaque nuit.
Chaque nuit, je lis.
Or chaque soir. You came up with a hybrid of night and evening, which was noir, which also means black when it gets dark. So makes sense. So every evening, chaque soir,
Chaque soir,
lovely, I read 20 pages of the Bible.
je lis 20 pages de la Bible.
Good. Incidentally, correct gender. De la Bible as opposed to le Coran. Because they're obviously not going to make that feminine, are they? But yeah, so but it's la Bible. Okay, good, okay. You need to read or watch the Gospel according to St. Luke. That is what you need. As in St. Logic Language Learning Luke. Do you understand what I'm saying? As in, Marcy, did you think for a minute I was recommending the real, you know? I meant this Luke, the Gospel according to St. Luke. Okay. Save me. Good. Save me. I like to read the Bible in French. I do legitimately like to read the Bible in French. Save me. I like to read the Bible in French.
J'aime lire la Bible en français.
Because I love the names.
Parce que j'adore les noms.
Lovely. For example,
Par exemple,
the equivalent between English and French.
l'équivalent.
Careful. What did we just do with John a moment ago? How do I say you pronounce QUI? I would say QUI. So how do you think we're going to say the equivalent?
L'équivalent.
That's it?
L'équivalent.
I love it when you get a correction, like Susan, and then you make it sound like you've always said it your whole life. I like it very much, okay? So the equivalent between English and French.
L'équivalent entre
Entre
anglais et
l'anglais et le français. For example,
Entre l'anglais et le français. Par exemple,
Lazarus, Lazare.
Lazarus.
So obviously Jesus, Jésus, Daniel, you know, Benjamin, these words are Joseph, these are like not difficult words in the Bible, but I like other names and equivalents, okay? They're interesting. Good. Also, nice. It's useful for those pointing with my pointy finger. Marcel, what letter do we point with in French? The pause. I need the plural of that. The correct grammar area, yes. So. That's it. So, that's it. So, c'est utile for those who are learning. C'est utile pour ceux.
C'est utile pour ces
Pause. So.
pour ceux
Good. Who are learning.
ceux qui
They form après.
apprennent.
That's it. Okay. Lovely. Because
Parce que
one can find the passé simple in the Bible.
on peut se trouver.
Careful.
On peut trouver le passé simple dans la Bible.
Quick reminder. What do I say? We're going to meet in town. On va se retrouver. Yeah? I find myself in a difficult situation. Je me retrouve. Lovely. But generally, one can find on peut trouver. Okay? Good. Good. Excellent. When I was little,
Quand j'étais jeune,
okay, for me, I used to love fairy tales because of the passé simple. I was a real geek. I used to like hearing the language in that kind of way. a little bit the way that we used to like thou and thee and thy. Do you know what I mean? It just sounds kind of, you know, like, okay. Obviously, I will still use thou, thee, and thy because I'm so classy. Yeah, I'll say, Gabby, shift thy fucking ass. We're running late. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay.
Still use it up here.
Yeah, yeah, the, yeah, exactly. It's the Yorkshire the. Yeah, lovely. So, yeah, so Sophie, I used to love.
J'adorais.
That's it. I used to love this. I used to love this kind of thing.
J'adorais cette genre de choses.
Now, all of you say genre, like the word vendre, but it's ce genre, like a literary genre. Huh? Okay. Okay, good. Okay. For many European languages, the Bible was the first book published in this new language. Yes, flawless. Lots of European languages.
Pour beaucoup de langues européennes.
Flawless, good. Feminine. Européenne, yeah. Lovely, the Bible.
La Bible était le premier sentence.
Book.
Le premier livre.
A été le premier livre. Lovely.
Le premier livre.
Premier, because it's not feminine, yeah. Une livre, that would be a pound for you.
Premier livre.
Published. Publié. Okay, love it. When I was living in America,
Quand j'habitais aux États-Unis.
Okay, if I were in a hotel, if I were, si j'étais, that's it.
J'étais dans une hôtel.
Lovely. I would look for the Bible in the drawer. I would look. Marcy, these are the classic partnerships of imperfect and conditional, as opposed to the classic partnerships of imperfect and conditional on the auxiliary. So this is when we talk about present hypothetical versus past hypothetical. So up you go. I would. So if I were in the Bible, I would look. I would look for Jean Gabra. No. Actually, sorry. Ignore what I'm trying to say. If I were in a hotel room, I would do that. Is imperfect and conditional. If I were in the hotel room, I remember that I would do that. Then you're absolutely right. You are meaning would as in I used to do this. So actually, you are right. You are right. It sounds the same in English, but it's different. Because would is also, amongst its many usages, an archaic form of the imperfect. Some people still use it. Gabby says, when I was 12 years old, Luke, I would come down here and do dirty things, and I would earn pocket money. Did you, Gabby? I did, Luke. So when I was a little Luke, I would walk with my sister, and we would show the boys our knickers. Yeah. So Gabby, when she's telling me the story, this is like was we used to. All right. So you're absolutely right, Marcy. So I can hear some noise. Could someone just kill it? Oh, I'll shut Kim off. It's not her fault. I think it's a work thing. Oh. That's it. Yeah. So basically, it's yes. You're absolutely right, Marcy. Yes. If I were in a hotel room, I would do this. I mean, hypothetically now, si j'étais dans une chambre d'hôtel, je ferais something. As opposed to, if I were in a hotel, I would do, hypothetically, no, not hypothetically, as in the past, picking off various points in my past tense. Si j'étais dans une chambre d'hôtel, Je faisais, or whatever the verb would be. So yes, Marcy, you're absolutely right. All right? And the second thing, no, sorry for me. The most important thing, why am I using my fingers? Marcy, you make me blush. Why am I using my fingers? I did. Look, Marcy, I'm being serious. One finger matches one finger. Two finger matches two finger. Three fingers matches three fingers. Is this A, the cheeky girls with matching pelvic floors? B, that when we've got in French a superlative with a noun, we use the same the. Marcy is the nicest person. Marcy est la personne la plus sympa. He is the stupidest boy. Il est le garçon le plus stupide. Gabby's hired the most flexible prostitutes. Gabby a embauché les putes les plus flexibles. So basically, when you say a superlative, okay. So if Susie says, "I don't care, you just go and buy me a bottle of wine," which one? Oh, just the most expensive. That'll do. Whatever. I'm charging it to Malcolm. So basically, est-ce que tu peux m'acheter la bouteille la plus chère? Yes, so it's a double the. So what would be the most important? The thing, the most important. So you've got to match the the.
Okay, so
No, it's only not been listening. The thing, the most adjective. So the first the is the noun, the girl, the woman, the man, the color, the whatever. The second the is the most plus the adjective.
Okay.
So give me the nicest girl. La
fille. Gentille.
No, Marcy, look. Marcy. As horny as a fingering is, I'm waving this around for one very simple reason. The repetition of the fingers. Look. La fille, every time I finger the girl, we say the word la. La fille, la plus sympa. Le garçon, le plus sympa. Les enfants, les plus sympas. So this double fingering is to teach you guys that for this we need to say twice the word the in French. So, and you start with the noun and then you move across to the adjective. So say for me, the nicest boy, le. Also, I've just used the word le. So which le's coming again? Plus, like in the nicest. Le. It could also be le moins. It could be the least. Okay? Let me sum this up in a way that's going to make sense to you guys. The word for most and the word for more in French is exactly the same. Gabby is nice. Gabby is sympa. Gabby is nicer than some dipstick from Leeds that got online earlier. So Gabby est plus sympa. Gabby is the nicest. Gabby est la plus because she's a feminine. So the word for not, and as with less and least. So this is less expensive. Alors, this shop is less expensive. Alors, ce magasin est moins cher. This shop is the least expensive of all the, the BDSM, bondage, wipe down shops Gabby goes to. Ce magasin est le moins cher. So the only thing that makes a difference between more and most and less and least is an additional the before it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So Marcy is the, what should we say? Marcy is the most experimenté. But let's not say that. Then let's say Marcy in the job is the nicest person at work. Let's just stick with sympa because it's easy to do. So that means Marcy is the woman, the most nice. If we go.
Marcy is la femme la plus.
And then whatever the adjective is, that's it. That's it. You've got it. Side note to finish. If you use a word in the first half which joins with the, you need to remember the gender. So, for example, if I said, Gabby has worked in the dirtiest hotels. Gabi a travaillé. You know, whatever. Les hôtels, you know, that's fine. Les hôtels. That's fine. You're going to know the word. But if you said in the dirtiest hotel, okay? Gabi, you know, whatever. De travailler. Donc, l'hôtel. So the le there was obviously joined onto the word hotel.
Yeah.
So you'd have to then know the gender to say le plus crade or le plus sale or whatever. Okay. You know, okay. You know, she managed to convince them to hire her at the most, you know, vulnerable hospital. I mean, you know, like talk about inventing a CV. So whatever, you know, so at l'hôpital, le plus vulnerable, because it's like the masculine hospital. But in theory, you could have a the word joined onto a feminine, you know? Good. 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 You are another one like Susie. The voice is so good. Use the voice to don't think about all the grammar. I know that's hard for you because you're such a little organized brain. You like to think about grammar. Just say it so that your mouth feels comfortable because my God, Marcy, you've got such a lovely voice in French. Really, really, really. Good. Good. Excellent. 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 I'm going to decompress with a little WhatsApp chat. So anybody that's around, is there anybody in here that's not available to come with WhatsApp? Let me just quickly say goodbye. No. I'm going to I'm just going to turn off the YouTube and I'm just going to give a little quick WhatsApp call. If you're going to bed, I shall see you soon. Otherwise, if you're free for 5 minutes, it would be nice if we could decompress. I will speak to you soon. Well bloody done, everybody. Guys, if you're watching, thank you very much. Can I remind you that I'm available on Coffee. You can buy me a coffee. It'd be very much appreciated. Thank you for watching. If there's anything you don't understand, can you please email me? I will try and get around to it. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. End stream. Good.